Hello, everyone. My name is Peter Schweitzer. I'm a professor of social and cultural anthropology at the University of Vienna. I received my PhD degree in anthropology some years ago here, but then after completing my PhD, I moved to Alaska and worked at the University of Alaska Fairbanks for 20 plus years. So it was a fascinating experience of living and working in the Arctic. And at the end of 2012, I moved back home, so to say, to Austria, to the University of Vienna. And not surprisingly, I can try as much as possible to continue Arctic research in this non-Arctic place. So within the European Polar Board, I represent the Austrian member organization, which is called FWF, or in English, it's the Austrian Science Fund. And the Austrian Science Fund is the premier research funding organization of Austria. It has no specific polar or Arctic focus, but it of course considers polar research important as a fundamental and basic research orientation. Being part of the European Polar Board is particularly relevant for us, the Austrian Science Fund, as we are representing a small non-Arctic country. It's for small non-Arctic countries, it's probably more difficult and more challenging than for other places to stay in touch, to stay connected with what is going on in polar research and other related spheres. So this membership and this connection is vital for the continued vibrancy of Austrian polar research. So it's great to see that the European Polar Board has matured, is in its twenties, in its mid-twenties. I'm not a specialist on the history of the European Polar Board, but from what the little I know, I see that it has made some significant organizational other transformations in recent years, and they seem to be pointing in a very good and important direction, namely to be this independent broker of European polar research interests. And the geopolitical developments that we have been witnessing lately, the Russian aggression, they of course have tremendous impacts on polar research and not just on the geopolitics of the Arctic and the Antarctic. And under these conditions, it's particularly important that the EPB continues and increases its role in years to come.